So you're probably wondering what this is all about. In 1512, legend has it that a man called Hernan Cortés travelled from Spain to Mexico with the objective of conquering the Aztec Empire and gaining all their riches. And the legend says he went with an armada out to Mexico to take on this big, audacious goal. And the legend says that when he arrived, they burnt all of the ships. So there was no retreat, no surrender for his soldiers. They had to win, they had to fight through. This was a legend, some of it is exaggerated a little bit, and the idea of this is the burning of bridges. And when we first started our journey as founders and having our startup, Aware Monitoring, we really did burn our bridges, burn our ships, because we didn't know exactly what we were going to do. We didn't know exactly what the opportunity was, so we had to let that unfold to develop over the whole time of our journey. So, my name's Nick Barker. I am the CEO and co-founder of Aware Monitoring. We're a software company. I've been in the tech industry, IT industry, for over 20 years now. I've worked for small companies with 8 people up to multinational software companies with thousands of people. Very, very different experiences. My last job, I was responsible for an outsource, a managed service. And it was almost a spin-out within a much larger company. And it was very small when I started, and we grew that into a multi-million-dollar company, a global company, from very little. And I look back at the rest of my career, and I've often been building businesses, business streams within existing businesses. So I think sometimes it is within us that ability to create things, that some of this background, creativity, innovation comes from. I really do believe that. So I've had all sorts of different roles in these companies. I've worked in sales, I've worked in pre-sales, I've worked in product management roles. So quite a variety, often very customer focused. My co-founder, Simon Oxley, his last job was working at Capital One Bank. He was a European infrastructure architect. He rolled out one of their biggest projects ever in Europe, which was a new credit card system. So he is very much the technical genius behind the organisation, and I pull a lot of the other things together. Now, this company that I built within another company, I stopped learning, essentially, after several years of being there, and I wanted a new big challenge. And I don't have a first degree, but I left my job to do an MBA. I had to go through all sorts of challenges, obviously, to do an MBA without a first degree, but I had a lot of experience, real life experience. And I had one of the best years of my life. I absolutely loved the MBA. It was particularly Chris, and this module was definitely one of the best. But I really did genuinely enjoy it, and I did very well out of it. I got a distinction, which was fantastic. And it was very intense, and it was very different. Whilst I was doing the MBA, I convinced my now co-founder, Simon, to join me, to leave his pension and all his benefits at this big American company. We still often laugh about it today because there's no pension, there's no benefits. It's true bootstrapping, but it's a very different journey. And we talked about the company, the values of the company, what we wanted, what we saw the company being, and spent time doing that. Meanwhile, I was very intense, as you know, what it's like to be on the MBA, particularly the first 3 months, the boot camp. And he was doing this big project at Capital One. But we didn't know exactly what we were going to do. We did burn our bridges. He left his job. I didn't have a job, and we started this adventure, this journey. So 3 things I'm going to talk about today. The 3 big challenges that I've seen, and I hear this on blogs, speaking to other founders, and I see this in action. The 3 challenges is, the first one is to find an idea, and then to stick to that idea. The second challenge I'm going to talk about is getting commercial product out to the marketplace, and people just fall away over each challenge all the time. And the third, and as equally as challenging, if not more challenging, is to find a product market fit, to have a product that is a must-have, that customers want and prepared to engage with you to do that. So I'm going to talk about these 3 challenges and how we've been through several of these and where we are today. So before I get onto that, I'm going to put it back to you. This is a little bit of a quiz, a bit of a challenge. As Chris has said, and as you're learning about opportunity recognition, opportunities unfold, they develop. So I recently read on a blog, a VC from Boston in America, was talking about, out of all his investments he's ever made, 66% of those have changed from what they originally started out at. So it changes, it evolves. And this is a great example, remember I'm in tech and web tech, this is a great example of businesses that have changed. So your challenge is to see which matches which. So this is the product that they ended up with. The successful product, and many of you may have used it, Flickr for photographs, or eBay, of course, we know for auctioning. And this is what it actually started out as. Over to you, what do you think matches with what? So this is the original idea they started out as, and this is what they ended up as a product being successful. I can give you a clue. Yes.
YouTube, was it a gaming software?
No. Yes, it's Hot or Not. So Hot or Not was a video dating site. And they, you would go up and say, oh, look at me. Aren't I beautiful? You want to give me a call? And they found that the technology that they made was brilliant. I mean, of course, we use YouTube all the time. I was watching YouTube's videos last night. So they actually took advantage of that. And then, of course, in time got bought by Google. Next one. So should we on gaming? So the one that you picked up. What do you think is gaming? Flickr was gaming. That's right. They started out as gaming software and they ended up being photographs, which was quite a pivot from one to the other. Project management, that was Blogger. Yeah, and Blogger's a blogging platform. And that's quite a shift there. And Zobni was analytics. And Zobni's inbox belt backwards, which is basically, on Google Mail, Gmail, you can do search. It enables you to do search within Outlook. So they all pivoted. They all changed along the way. I think I got that all right, didn't I? Yes. Yeah, I remembered.